gain consciousness and say,
where are you at, me boy? Oh! Right there! I walked right past you!
Look how many of us there are!
Well, admittedly, you got a point there, pal. Are you stupid? It could be. It could be the case.
could be the case.
Probably is. Oh, but not today! I'm so freaking tough. I'm so freaking tough. That's right. There is no amount of cold water that can cool this off. Execute! Okay, how do you do it? How do you do it? I'm pressing X and it ain't happening. Oh, it's because it was him. Ouch! They just got me on the double stroke.
Did that get you to your full rager?
Ooh. Ouch. Okay, I'm losing focus. I'm losing focus. I'm doing poorly. That's not what I want. You dumb animal. Instant kill for you, I hope. Alright, come on, come on. Okay, this is a lot of folks. This is a very big crowd. So many big lads. Why are there so many of you? What in the name? Okay, why is that a thing? That's not what I'm trying to do. Okay, this is not a good... This is a bad fight. This is not a good fight. I'm getting stuck. Okay, I'm not trying to do that, so why ever it keeps making me do that is annoying. Things are on fire and I'm getting chased by giants. Ah! Execute. Okay, so how do I do it? How do I do it? It doesn't work. Okay, I'm really getting tired of that because it's not what I'm meaning to do. What? What was that? Oh, he's broken, he's broken.
Grab him by the throat.
This is not what I meant to do, but I guess I'll do it.
Yeah, but you're gonna...
That's not what I want to do. Get over to the push crimp. Push his crimp. Push his crimp. Ah!
Lordy, he almost smacked your face right when you were...
What?
Are you kidding me?
Well, okay, it just means I gotta take him down a peg. What? Okay, why does that keep happening? Dadgummit, come back! Oh, okay, he's only 300 feet away. Alright, push crimp, I'm sorry, I went too far.
Come back.
Wait up! Push crimp, wait up!
Where is he now?
He's in this cave, apparently. Hiding from his shame. Is he crying?
He's become Gollum.
Okay, do I even want you on my team anymore, pal?
Push crimp.
Oh, very nice, push crimp, very nice. Hello, me boy! He didn't say a single word. Oh, he
says that his name's been changed to the ruin.
Well, it won't stop me. I'm still having him because of his name. Why are these guys still hanging around him if he's nuts?
We're gonna bring his face back to normalcy.
Okay, why are you all around? How do I do it? How do I do it? I keep pressing the wrong buttons. No, thank you! Snafu!
Again!
Snafu goes hard! He goes hard. He goes hard. If he were soft, he would not have gotten this far. Snafu, do it again! Really? Hey! It's a band get together!
Yeah, except that...
No! It's always Fort Hog! Fort Hog, you ruin everything!
It's because he looks like a balding man. Look at with that.
And balding middle-aged men ruin everything? Is that your implication?
No, I'm just saying he doesn't look like
that's
he
the
belongs
end.
in this. He doesn't look like he belongs in this freaking game. He looks like he's some sort of pro wrestler.
I feel like the first thing that came to my mind there was the first thing that came to my mind there was stop it. Just thinking of the Trogdor songs. Come on, get away. Okay, so is there a way? I am seriously just trying to pick up this cloak, and then I'll get out of here. Okay. How many times can I get saved? That was it. That was all the times. Well, that was cool to have a duo of Forthog and Pushcrimp, or Snafu rather. Snafu's standing right behind me. Well, that guy killed me. Snafu. Now we need an orc named Fubar, and we'll be great.
Fubar, Snafu, Fortdog, and
I missed the reference. And Gilgamesh, we're the Mesopotamians. Sargon, Hammurabi, Ashurbanipal, and Gilgamesh. You've heard that one, right?
Flog and Zuka. No,
I don't care. Zuka, the deeper delver. Well,
Zuka delves too greedily. He knew what he awoke in the darkness.
Well, Snafu has paid off in dividends, but I don't think much else has been made. And now Pushgrim's dead. So, Forthog, Snafu's been great. Forthog is, we need to have an employee review. need to establish
some ground rules.
Who is and is not a valid target for killing. I appreciate the zeal, but a little bit more temperance. Let's work on that, Forthog.
Well, that's kind of how it goes. That's life. I don't know whether I have anything to say about that other than if you find yourself possessed by a wraith.
You're tempted to end now? I thought we ended almost a minute ago.
Well,
then you acted like you wanted to go again.
Oh, well, like a full thing? Sure, I guess.
Well, that's what you said. I mean, I guess this could just be a bonus ending. Could be a toilet ending.
It is a toilet ending right now. Well,
we gave up on Ronk. Ronk sucks.
Maybe we need to go fight Ronk so that Forthog comes and goes, take this! Eat this! I think we may need to do that because I'm kind of sick of seeing his face.
What is that? Why is that the sound it makes?
It's for my custom for my wife.
Why?
Because it's, I don't know, it's what I have. Yours is Sherwood Forest. Anytime you text me, it's like...
Why is it? What? What does that have to do with Sherwood Forest?
I don't
and
know.
Furthermore, what does that have to do with me?
Just seemed like it fits.
Okay.
It's a little more old-timey and kind of somewhat Lord of the Rings / dwarvish. I don't know. It just seemed like it worked. Ew. If they had that, I totally would add it. Probably should make it just so I can add it. Oh.
Oh, goodness me.
And then have your phone call one be, all that glitters is not gold, but this is.
That was a dumb line.
I agree.
Here's a thing we can talk about. Tortured segue. Let's talk about tortured segues. Well, because this is one of those things I was going to bring up longer ago, and so the context is all gone. I like that they're just respectfully, let's let them pick up the loot, at least. I have been listening rather endlessly to the Song of Durin, which is very random, since we're talking about dwarves. But perhaps, I mean, not that we need any more griping about the decline of Western civilization, but that's what the song's about, basically. Are you familiar with it at all?
I don't know that I am.
I don't know where it... I think it comes from the books.
Which part in the book, though? Is it from Silmarillion?
No, I don't believe so. I think it's in the main books. And I've already told you previously about the Clamavi de Profundis group, who do... Okay, you just walked up to that guy, bumped him, and then walked away?
Okay, really?
I mean, given that you charged through the camp, I don't think you could be surprised when everyone's on your tail.
Okay, Karagor, come on.
You can't strike him in the face.
I find that to be idiotic. That's the first thing I would do if I had a Karagor charging me.
You're not beating the animal abuse allegations. That's the first thing I would do if I had a Karagor. Strike it in the face.
Karagor, strike it in the face. Cluck, 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 yeah. Ooh, Karagor.
But anyways, it's the same group who does a bunch of... They have adapted several other Lord of the Rings poems into songs. There he is.
Listen to the sound of my horn. It's the sound
Is that what he wants us to listen to?
The sound of your death.
Are you serious right now, or is it just hollow threats? Because before, you were kind of a jerk and kept leaving me hanging.
Well, I think he's going to do that.
Yes.
Execute, double execute. Seriously, tell me when you press X on this. Oh, well, you missed it. Ooh. Well, you can still kill him straight away. Oh, never mind.
I want a victory.
No, see, that usually he'll let you get up. Oh,
Who else is
who
here?
on earth?
Lorm?
What?
Lorm the Torch. He's trying to be the ghost of Christmas past.
Who are you? What on earth? That seems highly ineffectual. And also stupid to do. That is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Well,
It's too easy to kill you like this.
well, that's the end of him. Apparently, Lorm is fireproof somehow. Well, kill him now. I don't want to have to deal with him again. He's stupid. That's almost like a full-on joke. That's the kind of thing you'd put in a D&D game. The orc wearing a torch on his head. His name is Lumiere.
You want him?
No, I don't want him. I think he's stupid. Ooh!
Get bent, pal. Are you
Well,
serious?
apparently Lorm goes down fighting. Fiery machine.
Purified? What does that even mean?
This means he's dead.
They lack
Purified.
the precision of the elves, yet they persist in flinging arrows our way.
I don't mind, so long as they miss.
Well, slaughtered an entire camp full of orcs. That was something. I forgot what I was trying to talk about. Song of Durin. Yeah, it's essentially the lament for the Rohirrim, but for the dwarves. And I actually like the arrangement more, and it's just a song basically that reminds me about how life gets worse forever. But I don't know why. I felt like I think I had more to say about it when I was still fresh. So now I'm mostly just reporting on it because I'm desperate to talk about something. But I do think I don't know.
Listen to it.
Yeah, you should, because their version is, I think, a good one. But it's also just, yeah, it's a moody song that says a lot about our day and age. And it's, I know we've already had plenty of discussions about the decline of life and all that is good. And slowly into madness. So I don't know if we need to harp on that again, but I don't know.
But here we go. Toot toot! A bad news. Okay.
I mean, I suppose we can't help it, given that that's the reason we can't talk about anything else. The week is just a week. You found any songs that typify the decay of life as we know it?
None that come to mind. Because life,
None that I can think of offhand.
cause life, unfortunately, is too grim and gruesome to be captured in art.
Well, see, I don't think that's the case. Because that implies that art can't be gruesome.
No, I'm teasing.
That's why I like Beksinski.
I don't know if I'm familiar with.
You have probably seen some of his stuff, even if you don't know his name, because he has made famous things, even though his name is less well known. But even then, you might recognize him if you knew more about him. But yeah, he does a bunch of macabre, sort of a little bit Hieronymus Boschi, but better if you ask me.
What was his name again?
What's his first name is something bizarre. He's Polish. That I repeat myself. I believe his name is Zdzisław, spelled...
Ooh, that's a fun
There is, I believe, all of one vowel in that name. I believe it is ZDZ. I might have two, so I think it's ZDZISLAV. But Zdzisław Beksinski. And yeah, well, I guess that's a summary. I actually, because there's another. Here's a random topic. It's not by him. There's a painting that is what many people would consider kind of off-putting and sort of macabre in a way. I forget the name of the artist.
Oh, really? Now they're making this a thing?
It does, yeah, it escapes me. I don't remember the name of the artist. Well, I mean, in fairness, that's what you said you wanted to do. The game's just doing what you said you wanted. I'm pretty sure the orc did plan on us. I think he's got plenty of contingencies for us at this point. Try and do this Assassin's Creed-y. Like, let's recruit a whole bunch of people in the camp. Let's try and get a solid group on our side. There's a guy up in this window above you. But the painting is called the Red... Ooh. It's called the Red Stare or the Red Gaze. That's the English translation. In German, which is the original language, it's called Der Rote Blick. And it's definitely a creepy image. And yet there's something about it that I'm like, I actually do find it artistically interesting. And so I don't... The question is, would you ever actually hang such things in your house? This is taking us very far away. I don't think this is anywhere near where the guy is. And apparently you're just gonna... Where even is he? I don't think he's around here. I think he's further up. Oh, hang on. There he is.
Yeah.
Unless that's a different guy. Ooh, don't alert any of them. But see, I was saying you should probably get some people on your side before you just blunder in there, but... I don't know. Are you, so do you not, you don't mean to imply that art shouldn't be...
No,
sometimes it can be that
I'm
and
simply
still
saying
have some...
life is so...
Life sucks so hard, it would be indecent to depict it.
Not even decent, and I am impassable.
Well, see, I don't agree with that at all. I think there's plenty of art that's very grim.
Oh, grimness is not does not totality of life make?
Well, sure, but you're acting like that's something that art can't capture. You didn't say it wasn't the totality of life, we just said it was the grim part of life. Because there's plenty of art that can also depict the nice things. But I don't know. The reason why the one image stands out to me is because the story behind it is kind of fascinating and sad. And I don't, it's going to be very hard to bring it across verbally. But essentially, because the image is, it's kind of just a somewhat deformed looking face with nothing in the background. It's literally just like the face sort of, it's almost a solid image, solid color. That's all red in the background and then the face is in the center and it sort of just appears out of nowhere. It isn't like, it's almost part of the background. But the reason for it is the guy who painted it, would you know the name of the weird disorder where you can't recognize people's faces? Are you distracted by your rager?
Yes, I am.
What? Zuka's gonna delve you deep.
He kind of looks like he's delved deep, but with his face.
Well, maybe that's how he likes it.
Ranger! Watch me turn a ranger into a crater!
That wasn't clever, Ron. Alright, well now you're gonna have to face two of them at once.
I don't know that I have it in me. Apparently not.
Zuka's about to have it in you. This dude's just got nothing to offer.
We've got him now!
Anyways. Do you remember, so because you've mentioned it before actually.
About what?
The disorder that makes you unable to recognize faces?
Yeah, one of my professors, dadgummit. One of my professors had it, and I can't recall what the actual title of it is, but...
Because the painter of the painting had that, and he also was just a kind of generic, not generically, but like generally paranoid. I don't know if he was actually schizophrenic, but he had certain mental troubles, as well as that particular disorder.
That would make
and
it
so the
3
face is
times
actually
worse.
the reason he painted it that way is we're saying this is what people look like to me, and it makes you think because when you think about it, the human face, if because you know people talk about a lot how we have a propensity for like reading facial expressions.
Yeah.
Especially it's like how you see faces in things that aren't faces sometimes, where we're so attuned to the shape of a person's face that you can even see one when it isn't there. But so it seems like if whatever part of your brain that governs that like deciphering of the human face, if that didn't work, I can imagine that looking at people would actually be very off-putting.
Yeah, exactly.
Because like a face without any of the context around it would probably be kind of a creepy thing, and so that's what the painting sort of depicts that would be the way people would look to you, is just sort of this strange amalgamation of features. It's like, well, that's actually a sort of sad but also really fascinating way of depicting that, and he's just gonna keep getting better. The problem is we have to isolate him. He's always around other people when we try to fight him.
I don't know how we would do that outside of just...
I don't either. So that's the end of that.
Well, I mean, outside of what you said, which I clearly didn't do, which was get multiple people on our side around the area, but I mean, that's...
Well, but I'm not even confident how much that would work, because the low-level guys I don't think would be much use, but I guess if we had a bunch of them.
Yeah.
So I guess that's what we'll try. But,
Think of your
yeah, it's something that I could almost see myself having in the house, which would put people off, but...
That was a long time ago.
But it's just because it is a fascinating... I don't know, maybe it's only because of the story behind it, but I mean, generally that's how art often is, that the story is what makes it the most interesting. Oh, never mind, I changed my mind, let's do this. Let's do literally anything else. Call a moment become dominated Karagor. Have I not already done something like this? The trouble is, I know that you can replay these missions, and so that's what I don't want to do. Unless it's actually new.
Well, I imagine it's not exactly the same, but...
Oh, okay, so I suppose every time I do one of these, I unlock part of this door over here in that one area. Alright, fine, I guess it's fine to do. Beats getting whooped by orcs. But I don't know. I don't think art... You should look it up, because it'll freak you out. Maybe not, but it's definitely unsettling. But it's called the red... Usually in English they call it the red gaze or the red stare. This isn't even going to be hard. I've beaten Karagors left and right. I guess this is a particularly tough one. Oh! I'm not supposed to kill him! Okay, whoops. Misunderstanding. So since we got on the topic of macabre art, I'm actually sort of I have an interest in it because it's a part of art people don't often seek out, but it seems like a nonetheless valid avenue for certain meanings or portrayals of things or just even life in general. So, I don't know,
I guess for me, I don't know how often I go to the visual medium of art for communication of life in general. I think most of the time my initial jump is to something like music, which, you know, depending on whether it has, obviously, lyrics, can be one thing, and then I definitely
is there such a thing as macabre music? Music can be sad or kind of depressing, but it's not usually macabre. I mean, what kind of music would fall into that category? Because like emo music that's just about how life sucks, that's not the same. Ooh, did it say on there what the name of the artist was? Because he was also a relatively well-known music composer as well as an artist, which is why I feel like I should remember his name. Is it Stravinsky? It wasn't Stravinsky, was it?
No.
I don't think it's that. I thought
Arnold, Schoenberg.
Oh, never mind. Schoenberg, alright. Sure, but what would be an example of macabre music?
He was a composer, though. He was actually a music theorist.
I mean, that's not uncommon. Now I can't think of the other one. There have been several composers who was also artists. I think Vivaldi is mostly known for music, but he also did art, unless I'm remembering wrong again.
I just find that emotional capture when it comes to...
Yeah, but is that just this? Because there's music that's sad, but that's not macabre. And I think that there's... Macabre is best communicated via the visual, because I don't think you could make a song that was macabre very well. Unless maybe, I guess maybe there's... What is the technical definition of macabre? Oh, Mikaragor
Unknown
died.
and creepy.
I don't think that's the technical
I feel like
definition.
that's what I've understood macabre.
Ooh, good grief. That was pretty close. Cutting an orc in half like I was just taking out the trash.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's always what I've considered it to be, but
Well, but what's the technical definition? Because even then, creepy songs, like what's a creepy song?
I'll show you what a creepy song is.
Well, a creepy song that also conveys emotion. Because I mean, unless you could use the score of a horror film and call that a creepy song, but I don't think that would be something you'd listen to, just because you were in the mood. Well, my Karagor's dead, and I don't know where I'm actually supposed to go. Supposed to defeat enemies in the forest. What enemies? What am I supposed to do here? My Karagor's dead.
Well, you should agree with me that Dan's the sugar plum theories.
No, you've attempted to make that argument, and I still find it completely confusing.
Very, very creepy song.
It is not in the slightest.
Yep. You should listen to it because
I'm aware of the song. It's very famous.
I know.
So it's
I'm
not
just
that I
saying, it
don't
does
know
not
how
have
it
any
goes.
level of whimsy.
They
Oh.
said that if I press X and A, I could summon a Karagor, but all it does is that. All my Karagor is dead, and I'm supposed to be killing things in the forest, but no one's around. I think you have a strange issue with the song, is what I think. Because I don't. Your interpretation of it confuses me. I don't know where it comes from.
I don't know.
But even then, how can you call it macabre? Because I think macabre, doesn't it have to have a certain element of, like, death or decay-ishness? It's not just sort of creepy.
I thought it was more anticipatory.
Well, look at
Risk.
what's the actual definition? Because I thought it had a more specific one than that. There's the enemies! They're all hiding in a cave! And they're all gonna rip me to shreds, because my Karagor's dead. Oh, never mind. It's just orcs. I thought it was more Karagors. Hey, how about it? It's the time, lads. There you go. That's the first time I've managed to get that to work.
Grim or horrible. Unsettling or horrifying in association with death or injury, primarily.
So there is a death or injury related element.
Morbid, I suppose, is one
Okay, but
thing
see,
you
like
could
morbid songs? What's a morbid song?
say. Eerie. See, that's more.
I won't
what was
deny that
thinking.
morbid
Eerie,
songs do
dreadful,
exist. I just can't think
sick.
of one. Because there's morbid other things. There's morbid books. There's morbid movies or art, but I don't see how a song could be morbid.
Sauron first showed me the One Ring.
Oh, wait, no, I'm not dead. What am I?
Imperfect. It took the utmost
Well, there we go. That was a diversion from getting our butt whooped by orcs. Now it's time to go get our butt whooped by orcs again.
I don't know how you would go about. I mean, I suppose I would assert that it's not impossible to communicate
I don't think
emotion clearly with song. It's
Well,
just
yeah,
for
but
some reason
macabre
macabre
isn't
is
so much
a
emotion.
complex
Whoa,
emotion.
hi,
It
hi.
is, though. I mean,
I don't. Well, horror.
or is it a state?
I think it's more of that. It's a state of perception almost. Because it's like I'm not sure horror is exactly an emotion. I mean, revulsion or some kind of.
That's just disgust, or
Well, I guess that's true. I don't know. I guess horror can be. You can be horrified, which implies that there is an emotional response. Okay, why are you not doing what I'm asking? So I won't deny that a song could be. I just can't think of how or a song that is. It seems that you cannot either. Hey, good rat,
Well,
children.
again, I don't know how I would say, obviously, there's certain metrics that I know would apply, like minor.
Yeah, but that feels awfully
Thin,
generic.
maybe. Yeah, well, not generic.
Because then you're
I
just
mean,
talking about a song that's kind of sad.
I would say the other thing is dissonance and change up in pattern, because I would suggest that maybe a standard like 1-4-5 or like a 5, that kind of thing, that would not work. Whereas if you use something a little more dynamically interesting, and that you had, no, I don't know.
I don't really want to deal with you.
The orc has a camp nearby. He will die there.
I highly doubt that.
It is that the problem with I mean, how in painting, how would you define it?
Well, you can just depict those things. It talks about injury and death and sort of the horror of existence. So you depict that because there's no shortage of it. I think communicating it into it. I mean, I guess you could make a song that was just about a person dying in a horrible way, but I've been saying that wouldn't be much different than just a story about it. Like, how would the music add to it? I mean, I don't know, to be honest. How would you... That's the thing that I think is interesting, is like the painting I was mentioning explains, as best as can be explained, like, this is the experience of having this disorder, and it manages to convey that to people who don't have it. And I don't know that you could write a song about having that disorder and have it convey that as well. I mean, I suppose I won't say it couldn't be done. I don't know how it would be done, I guess, because it would feel, I think, a little bit too expositional. Because the thing about the painting is that it makes you feel the thing, and then the backstory behind it is saying, this is how it feels for me, even when things look normal. Like, it has to be a distorted painting to convey the same thing to a person who doesn't have the disorder. But a song, I would think, is just basically, you'd have to just explain it in words, and I'm not sure that would be as effective.
And again, I come back to, you can craft specific emotions clearly, so it's not that it's a lack of music being able to communicate.
Yeah, but I'm saying,
feeling,
but how would the music do it without words, is I guess a point to ask. How would you write a song that conveys the same emotion as that painting about having this weird disorder, and sort of the paranoia and distrust it causes in daily life? Because I won't deny that a song probably could be written about that, but I think it would take a lot of artistic... I think it would be a difficult thing to do. I think you'd have to be quite the wordsmith, because I don't think you could rely purely on the music to achieve that. And then furthermore, even if you could you make it, because you're talking about, like, well, you can have during different musical, I'm not sure what the word is, but you could have different sort of musical tropes, things like using minor keys or dissonant tones, but if you do that too much, you'll end up making a song that no one actually wants to listen to, because it's just not a very pleasant song. So then the next level of difficulty would be how to actually make something compelling and even aesthetically pleasing that also conveys that same message, in the same way that I'm saying, you know, it's a somewhat disturbing image, and yet I still find it kind of compelling because of the story behind it. Okay, I've got some archers on my side, and the dude is actually already hurt. Now, the thing I know is going to happen, because it's happened before with lesser level guys. Okay, I guess we're starting now. The trouble is, he's gonna obviously be, even if I defeat him, he's gonna be way too high level for me to recruit. Which means I'll have to sort of... Wow! He headbutted me once?!
Come on, show me some pride of Gondor or whatever you men are always going on about.
Okay, so that was stupid. Didn't even give me the chance. Alright, well, he got hurt by something before. I wasn't even... I'm not sure I was even involved in that, but... I've got some archers on my side. He's already down. He's already down. And we've got less of a crowd. I had the ability that was supposed to let me do that. We might just do it today, boys. Get out of here. You're spoiling the moment. No, 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 no. I don't want whatever that is. Okay, I had no defense against that.
It'll be too easy to
Oh, you son of a gun!
At this point, I don't
He
even
was
feel
down
like
to
he's-
bits!
I don't even feel like he's good at this point. He just doesn't. I don't know.
Well, that was complete. That's like,
Does
I
that
have no
bolster
count.
how much does that bolster them? Is it?
Oh,
that
I
much?
think they go up by one level every time.
Yeah, that's obnoxious.
But it's like that. Well, I don't think it goes up by level when if he doesn't kill me. Maybe the humiliation counts. I don't think it should at this point. Because that was... He was really far down, and that one ability, the weird crossbow he has, like, I had no means to counter that. And he was so close to being dead that it's like if he had just given me one more up, I would have probably killed him. Or at least tried to get him. Shamed him at least, because I think he deserves some of that. Well, you weren't the guy I was here for, but... Oh, and I don't even get the chance. There you go! Kill him! Kill him! Good on you, Snafu! Well, that redeemed it slightly. Alright, you rock, dude.
You've come out in the clutch quite a few times now.
You're the best thing I did in this game. Is there a way I can actually... Oh, he's dazed! Does that mean he's, like, hurt or something?
I don't know.
I need to help
That's
him?
what it means.
Collect Ranger's armor. How about that? Where are you at, pal? He's hurt. How do I help you? Ah, okay. He's actually... No! He's fighting. Who's shooting him? No, 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 no. Ah! What are you doing to me? Get away from me, you little wretch. That was the guy that was throwing things at him. So help me, Snafu. If you die to ghouls, I will have to revoke everything I think about you. No, sorry, sorry, sorry. Don't kill him. No, stop it! I didn't mean to do that. Sorry, you alright? Oh, hang on. Oh no, come on. I want to... Can't I... Oh. There's no, like... Can I give him a battlefield promotion or something like that?
It doesn't appear so.
Well, I guess you're hurt, so I'll send you back home. You've done your duty. Good on you.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you would actually define that. I mean, I know... I would like to say that it's possible, but I don't know.
I'm sure it is. I just... I think there's a reason the visual arts do it better.
Better? More objectively, sure.
Well,
but
no,
better, I don't
yeah,
know.
I don't think that. I don't think you can call it objective because no art is. But I'm just saying, because I think if you could easily make a song that was just essentially the score to a horror scene where it's a bunch of discordant melodies and minor keys. But that wouldn't be a song anyone would listen to. It would be effective as a background for a scene, but you wouldn't listen to that just because it wouldn't... I don't think it wouldn't actually be pleasant. You'd have to ride the balance between making it kind of off-putting, but also still...
Pretty. Or,
Yeah, it'd have to be something still that you'd, like, be pleasant to listen to, and
yeah.
that's difficult. In the same way that you can depict a difficult and sort of grim scene
Right.
in a way that is still artistically or aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah.
And I I won't say you can't do that with music, but I think it would be harder. Well... We're just not doing very great. Hello, hi. Okay. Here's the end of me today. Didn't have a chance. Well, that was some. We killed a guy, and by that I mean our lackey killed a guy. So, Booth.
Soon Sauron himself
John
will
Wilkes.
know my name.
We going with that? Hope he's like Booth the assassin. That'll be funny. I don't know.
I do think that, I mean, obviously my thought is that's why art's valuable, but it's not. Especially with more complex things like macabre, it's like, how do you not make it vacillate between creepy and non, but actually keep that element?
Well, how do you make it creepy and pretty at the same time?
Right, that's what. You may be saying it looks so good that it's scary. It's a little difficult to nail that down, but I do think that it's.
Well, look. I'm gonna look up macabre song and just see what happens.
You get sugar plum fairies.
I highly doubt that. I think you're the only person who has some complex about that.
No, I started looking it up and immediately it was like horror.
But see, I think the only reason it could ever work for a horror is because of the juxtaposition of... It would be similar to like having a child's play piano, like little sort of tinkly bell pianos.
Sure.
It's like, yes, those have been used in horror scenes, but it's usually because of the subversion.
Yes.
It's like you could have a children's choir sing for a horror scene, and it would be creepy because you've taken something that would normally be a kind of innocent thing and twisted it into a different context. But I don't think it is in and of itself a creepy thing. And of course, the first thing that comes up is the dance macabre, and I should have thought of that. To be honest, I actually don't even know what the dance macabre is. I probably shouldn't play this so close to the mic, but I'm just going to anyways. Is this a famous song? I think it is. I'm not recognizing it based on the first few seconds. I don't know. Well. Yeah. It's something. What?
So
Did you ever put any creepy paintings in your house?
Would I or did I?
Well, I guess both.
I don't know that I
wouldn't do it deliberately. I think some people could take it as almost like a challenge. Be like, I'm going to put some creepy stuff up and make my house make people uncomfortable. It's like, I wouldn't do that if it also made me uncomfortable. But if it was something that I'm genuinely like, I find this painting interesting, and despite the fact that it has a sort of creepy strain, I'm still kind of fascinated by it. Then I'm like, well, then if other people have that experience, then they'll become better people. But if it's just like, yeah, I'm going to have paintings of corpses and Francis Bacon stuff. It's like,
no,
well,
that's like morbid. That's different than macabre, I feel like. But
sordid even.
Me. Yeah, a little bit. Tasteless, that kind of thing. I don't know that I hate the notion of, I mean, even something like pictures of the soldiers that are raising the flag up after.
That's not very macabre, though. If anything,
No,
it's meant
but
to be a more triumphant.
It is, but I mean, it's those. I mean, you have. I could see where if it was something that heavy and yet important to know or to remember, like if it was like some sort of battle scene from one of the World Wars or something like that. It's like, okay, yeah, see, that's. I resist calling it art because that almost.
That raises the question of whether photography can be art, because Ayn Rand didn't think so. But then again, I'm not sure I I think photography was still... Well, maybe not. I mean, photography had been around almost 100 years by that point. I don't know. Because her definition was that art is a recreation of reality that inevitably bears the sort of
Human.
frame of reference of the artist.
Right.
So, but whereas the fact that a camera does not exactly recreate reality as much as it does just capture it as it is.
Yeah.
But I don't think that takes into account how much the photographer influences the camera, because it isn't just the camera takes a picture and what the camera takes a picture of is exactly the object.
Right.
Because you can use a camera to accentuate certain parts of the object, or you can definitely choose what part of the picture is meant to be the most striking or the primary emphasis.
Right.
So I think she may have undersold it in that capacity, because I do think there is a valid... I mean, I learned more about this actually when I started becoming interested in film photography, because I think if I ever was to be interested in photography, it would have to be via film. I don't think digital photography holds any interest for me.
Well,
And I think part of it is...
Stills are harder. Sure.
It's the... Well, no, you can do still images with digital photography. I'm just saying it's the challenges of film that require the level of sort of finite detail that I'm describing, where it's like you can say using certain... I forget the name of them now. However film is rated. It's like its sensitivity to light. I don't know what the rating is actually called. It's like you can use film that is more sensitive to light, but that means you'll have to change the camera in this way, otherwise you'll affect the exposure too much. But that might give you, like, you can use a really, I wish I could remember it, a high sensitivity film, which means you have to have a really short aperture.
Right.
And then that means that you can take a really fast-paced picture, like you can take a picture of something moving and have it real crisp, but it'll have to be very quick, and that gives you certain clarity, but it also comes at certain downsides on like depth of field and things like that. And I'm not an expert on it by any means, but it's like the choice of the settings, I guess for lack of a better term, of the camera is your choice, and it will produce a different image. So you won't exactly just be getting reality as it happened. You'll get a part of it that you deliberately sought to get, rather than the whole experience.
Yeah.
So,
Which again argues the point for modern photography, especially being art, in that you can even in post edit,
well, I find that goes, yeah,
adjust things.
I think,
I don't think it's invalid. I mean, I think obviously if you're doctoring photos to the point that you're actually changing but then that all the more argument for the fact that it is from the artist's.
well, yeah, but then that's just like, you may as well just have just painted it at that point. If you're going to doctor the image so much that it no longer resembles what it was, it's like, well, then what was the point of starting with an image?
Yeah.
Other than, I guess, as a reference. But that's not the same. I mean, I feel the same way about CG stuff, where it's like, you may as well have
That's
just
actually
animated.
gotten worse.
You may
That's
as
a
well have
unique-
just animated this.
Right.
Because the thing
That's
about
gotten
animation that was
unique.
great is that you could do anything you wanted, because you weren't limited by physical objects. Whereas people that try to say, well, we're going to make a live action film, but then we're going to have a whole bunch of CG in it to do the stuff that can't be done physically. It's like, well, then why couldn't this have just been animated? And I guess there is a strange bias that says that live action stuff is just more real, more serious. It's a more respectful, not even respectable, rather, art. I don't know. I mean, the prejudice against animation, I think, has been quite prevalent for a long time. Those are two Graugs fighting. That's fascinating. I haven't seen that. One of them's definitely getting his butt whooped. But, yeah, I think that the only reason film photography is interesting to me is because it's similar. It's because of limitation. It's like you can't just make this whatever you want. You actually have to know what you're doing.
Right.
And you have to do it right the first time, and you can't just fix it later. I don't know. I could see myself getting into that just for the... I saw one person who made an interesting argument. It was one of those clickbaity YouTube titles, but it actually kind of made sense. Where they're saying photography isn't actually your hobby. And, I mean, it's like the argument, technically speaking, is that photography gives you an excuse to slow down and look at things in a more kind of deliberate and an objective way. Because most of the time you're just going about your life and you stop paying attention to the things around you because you've got stuff that you're doing. And so you're focused on whatever tasks you have at hand rather than the things around you. And photography is a way of giving you the opportunity to slow down and say, I'm going to just stare at this one thing and try to capture it. And in order to do that, well, that forces you to really focus on it in a way you wouldn't in your normal routine. So again, a little bit of a kind of clickbaity argument, but I do kind of agree with the ultimate argument that he got to. And I can appreciate that, because with digital stuff, that's not to say that digital camera work doesn't require a similar level of forethought, but the ability to change things in post, I think, means it requires less forethought, because you could just fix it later if you made a mistake. And that is... I don't know. Then again, maybe this is just me being anachronistic talking, because it seems that just is the theme. I'd also rather read the newspaper and operate a physical printing
But it's
press.
not just you and I do feel like there's... I was talking to somebody, one of my friends the other day. There's clearly a cultural move to say we're getting so far into advancement.
I don't know that it's correct
bad.
to call it a cultural move, because I don't think it's all of the culture. I think there has always been a sect of people who prefer such things, which is why film never went away. But it is still undeniably less of a thing than it was. Physical media has never gone away because there have always been people who preferred it. But I don't think it's safe to say that, like, well, just all of the culture is changing back to it, because I don't think that's the case. I think there's some kind of a worldview that views physical media as more significant than not. And not everyone shares that worldview. Oh, he missed! Ha! Okay, that's actually kind of funny. He's hucking stuff at you.
Ugh, I was pushing.
You don't know that you're dead yet? You're not dead yet! Hey, you even did it right. Oh, did it not give you that? I thought you had the kill. Oh, it was delayed. Oh, I thought it gave you a double kill. You're just abusing that poor bot. Alright, well, we're back on the physical media train, I guess, because we didn't do it enough last time. What was another thing I was thinking about recently? Oh yeah, CRT TVs and monitors. I've been in an interesting rabbit hole about that people... There is still a dedicated group of people who argue that CRTs are superior due to... And there's actually some... They have some reasonable claims. Because resolutions on modern TVs have improved, but latency has decreased as a result. So some people would argue that monitors have much higher, or essentially they have a basically zero delay, because the frequency on them is much higher, and essentially something about how the actual like ray tubes because of the fact that the screen is constantly sweeping from top to bottom, basically projecting those little individual dots, what are they called? What are they?
Is it plasma?
No. I forget the name of it. Each individual dot. Well, no, that's in an actual modern TV. In the CRTs, they called it a something. The individual point that the ray tube actually projects. I want to say it's like Phazon or Phaser or something. I could be wrong. But it's like, because it doesn't display a static image, it's actually constantly displaying, basically the ray tube is essentially every second firing a bunch of these tiny pulses to create the image. Then you don't end up with the issue where a modern TV will display a static image, and then when that static image has to move, it has to show pixels changing, because one pixel was previously illuminated in this way and now has to change to this way. And that creates basically motion drag is the way to describe it. Whereas the CRT, because technically it flashes and then goes off, by the time it flashes again, it's in a different spot, and so the motion is much smoother, they say.
Yeah.
I also found that apparently CRT monitors, as opposed to CRT TVs, sometimes didn't even have resolution restrictions. Like, they would just project whatever you put into them, which I think is kind of fascinating. Because the CRT could just adapt to any resolution that was given to it. So, I'm not sure. From what I gather, it seems as though a lot of these people have actual, like, science behind them. It isn't just personal preference and an anachronistic view of life. But they are going, no, you do get much lower latency and even occasionally some better, like, resolution scaling. And the only things that compare nowadays are, like, modern OLED TVs, which are still pretty new.
Yeah.
Which can manage much lower latencies while keeping high resolutions and whatnot. But then the other thing people say is you get much deeper colors out of CRT.
That is true.
Because
I've
of the fact that while the image is not lit, it's black.
Yeah.
Truly black, because it's not being lit, whereas a monitor will have to actually light a black pixel.
Right.
So you get less depth of color and things like that. So I'm curious about it because it seems right up my alley. But then it also seems like it isn't just being kind of a Luddite, it's actually got some reasons behind it.
Yeah.
The only trouble is, how do you get a CRT big enough? Because the monitors is from what I gather, is where you can still get the better resolution and all of the stuff people are talking about. CRT TVs don't seem to have been as advanced in that capacity, which is the only way you'd get a big screen. So a lot of the guys who I see doing it still have, like, they're pretty small, like even the big ones are like 24 inches, which is still not big. So it's like it would be much harder to do something like this from a distance on a CRT monitor. That would be a big fella.
Oh, come on.
He was ready for you.
I couldn't.
You hacked him once and he just
Well, I
was
wasn't
ready
trying
for
to
it.
hack him once. I was trying to assassinate him from behind, and he told me nay.
That's right, you Ranger! You picked the wrong Uruk. I'll eat your dead hearts.
He has actually grown out of his gabbishness. He just said no.
Materials. I scoured them to strip away fat, soften them by pounding in dung, and soaking them in caragor brains.
First of all, why is he Russian?
Cured hide, I make you
And then also, why is he he talks more than Rock now? You just really like that mace of his.
Okay, it won't.
Really?
Seriously?
Rock's being a bad influence. He's spreading it to everyone else. Well, what are we taking in terms of bets? What are the odds on this one? Oh, well, the odds just improved slightly if you can get your rage.
I did!
Nope, no rage for you.
Are you kidding me?
Has been fewer than 4 hours. Oh, well, you got that one for free. There we go. I actually have no clue how odds are determined. That's something about
Can
gambling,
I make sure that
or
I
not
take
even specifically
them?
gambling.
Are you
but
kidding
betting
me? He didn't get...
specifically.
Thank you. In your butt.
Well, he's still not dead. He's a boss.
No.
He's a captain. They don't die from that. It takes more than a rager to subdue them. Well, apparently Ronk is teaching the humiliation game to all of his friends. Wow, he came in just to say no.
Man filth. I want a victory.
There's something about this, though. It seems as though there's never a context in which he's gonna kill you. Because you do that sort of collapse every time you're hurt. And he refuses to kill you when you're hurt, so he'll never actually kill you, is what it seems like. I don't see how the humiliation does in it, because when we shame them, they actually reduce level. I don't think that works on you. Unless it does. Maybe that's why we still suck. Because every time we get humiliated, we stay at a lower level.
Down already? Come on. Show me some pride of Gondor or whatever you men are always going on about. You come.
I want not to fight you both at the same time. You're so stupid.
Well, that's what I've been saying this whole time, is finding ways to isolate them is the only strategy, but I don't know how we would do it.
Easy to kill you like
Oh,
this.
there you go, that's it. Well,
I think that's it for me.
but that we brought that around in the end. Things were all right in the past. I mean, because that's the true two sides of one coin argument, is stuff might be in decline and it sucks, but you can also think about that, you know, things haven't always sucked, and things are still sometimes good. Sometimes things that you moved away from still have some value in them, and you can still go back and access that value. Especially because, like, yeah, CRTs are cheap because people get rid of them because most people aren't aware. Although, from what I gather, the good quality ones have now started to raise in price again because people have identified them as the especially good ones. But I don't know. I'll look into it, as well as looking into Linux and starting a printing press and all the other things we've discussed. I'll tell you this, well, actually, going back to the film photography concept, I would find that especially interesting because I would then use that to make your own prints of stuff. Because then you wouldn't need to rely on any kind of print service. It's literally just, I took the picture, I developed it, I scaled it, I printed the larger one. You do the whole thing yourself that way. And that, I think, is far more interesting than just, well, I sent it off to a lab and they did it for me. Or I sent it to Costco and they printed the big version. It's like, no, I think you could do it all yourself. That's more interesting to me. It's a little bit like a typewriter versus a printer. It's just, you know, it's more direct. The actual actions you take have far more direct physical influence than just, well, I put it in a computer and then the computer spat something out. Anyway, are you still trying to hunt someone, or are we...
How are you? I haven't died yet. I was gonna give you one more shot at it after I'm done.
Yeah,
But
I
I'm
don't care about that. Just go ahead and die. Just nestle in here and die. How high can he get? It seems like he ought to be the freaking general around here by now.
They've clearly made him out to be the same type of character that we had when we were with, what's his name,
Just poisoned the guy, but alright. You!
That's not how you do it, amateur.
Hey, there's a new Ookabook!
Time's the dose you need.
Well, how about that? Life gives us all a lemon now and again.
He actually looks pretty good. I don't mind.
Ookabook is back, and perhaps better than ever. Well, hey, see if you can grab him right now, because he's got to be low level.
Saying. He's out to lunch all by himself.
I mean, since we don't know about him, he's got to be fairly low level, so he should not be too hard to grab. So Ookabook is back in the game. You are just really hacking him up.
No!
Huzzah! Yay! Woo! Is he wearing a weird little Roman crown or something?
Let's see what you're made of, man.
How about that? Oh! Oh, I thought that was another
It is. That's why I was saying, let's see what you're made of.
Well, I thought he was another captain. I think that's just a regular reward. Whoa! Dude! Whatever his poisons are, they are quick. Ah, you're getting shot.
Okay.
Up there. Up above. Okay, you just don't care?
I don't care about Zuka.
No, but Ronk was behind you, the guy.
Got
What?
yourself another hanger-on, have ya? You'll have a proper army in no time. But you gotta remember, an army needs orders to follow. And I'll tell you what's always a popular one. Murder. Command that new follower of yours to gut some bugger you don't like. And that'll free you up to gut somebody else at the same time.
Hang on, how come he didn't come to deliver this back when we had the other guy on our team?
He's terrified of fire. There's nothing funnier than sending someone to clobber him with a fire weapon. Oh, that's proper music, that is.
What?
So, despite the fact that we have commanded some other guys before, apparently that was the tutorial on commanding guys we've recruited.
I thought he was coming to abandon us, and I was like, dude, I will take your butt
I am
out
not
right
having
now.
the good day, pal. You chose the wrong time. Okay, well,
I mean, we might as well follow suit as far as the instructions concerned. So
I'll tell him to kill. Don't tell him to kill wrong, because I don't think he'll be able to at this point. Who was the guy we just grabbed? No, he's on the side, on the right, all the way, all the way. We can command him.
He's already got a beef with Ronk.
Well, he should. But I don't think we want him to fight Ronk yet, because he's too low. Command him to fight. Who's a guy we wanted to kill that was around his level? Oh, Nazu. He can kill Nazu. He should be able to kill Nazu, no problem, because he's higher level than Nazu.
I feel like Nazu should stay.
I don't like... Why? Why do you think that?
I don't know. It just works. Not Nazu.
Yeah, but that's only a joke because of how annoying it is. That's the only joke available to that guy. Command him, I don't know, you can kill him, command him to kill whoever you want. I just don't think you should send him against Ronk, because Ronk's literally twice his level.
I mean, I guess.
Ook book.
How come it didn't let us do this before? Was it because it hadn't tutorialized it? There you go. Follow will attempt to complete the follow mission on his own, but you can join him to ensure success.
He'll increase in his level. We might as well do that. So I've already set that.
Ugh! Yeah, he's got to go. He's got an awful comb over. Well, have you ever contemplated photography?
You know, I have friends that are in it, and I'm not really, no.
Yeah, I've never found it compelling until I started seeing people talk about film and sort of the unique challenges of it. Because in some ways, it's not unlike how I think there is merit to the kinds of people who do woodworking projects with hand tools only. It's like the added challenge, despite the fact that you could argue that it's unnecessary, because, you know, there's easier ways to do it. It's
Hey,
like,
he's
yeah,
gonna
but
die, dadgummit.
no, he's not. I mean, it's down to half, but you can just kill the Caragors. They're
I'm
not.
trying to.
You gotta.
I hate the Caragors. This nonsense right here where they...
I think you're supposed to stun them like you do most other guys. Oh!
No, I've tried to do the stun move and they don't let me.
Oh no, we don't have a. Well, that was embarrassing. I hope Book didn't see that. Should have had Snafu come in.
Caragor killed you, so it's about to say Caragor leveled up, and now he's gained the ability to speak. And will be leading the entire army.
Well, I don't know. The 2000s, man, that's when we all peaked. I'm just saying it. The 90s, 2000s.
Alright, let's find out.
Seems about like that. Well, it's not going to happen yet. I think it's going to take time. As Teru has beef with Thrak, and I don't care. As hates Thrak, and I don't care. Bruise is alright. Yeah, so they've got a couple times to go through that. That's probably what we should be doing. Start sending people out to start killing others, rather than us doing it, because we're no good at it. Let's send Snafu against Arjanet, because he's higher level than him. Because that way, that levels them up and takes care of our guys. There we go. Alrighty, I'm good with this. Well, no progress hardly at all. But I guess the game thinks that we've learned how to command people. Oh, because we have 3 now. Maybe that was wise, because we only had 2 before. That, I guess, makes some sense. But yeah. You don't have to accept modernity, I guess, is the silver lining. There are things that we left behind that are still waiting there to be picked back up. And,
In fact, beckoning you back.
yeah, some perhaps that is the, I don't know, we need a, need a movement. Need a hashtag. Retro. How about future retroism? I don't think that'll catch because that's a little too awkward to say, but I don't know. I guess that's retro, vintage. What's the difference between retro and vintage? Is it just time? Seems like retro is about 20 years, whereas vintage is like 50.
Could be.
So that means eventually CRTs will become vintage rather than just retro. Anyways, well,
So, in classic progression, everybody eventually becomes antiquers.